The 2011-12 school year was Nebraska's first in the Big Ten. When the Huskers were originally announced as the conference's 12th member, the narrative was almost exclusively about football. When Nebraska's membership in the league was announced, there were 8 programs in the nation that had won 800 games, and now the Big Ten had 4 of them. As it turned out, though, the noise Nebraska made in that first season wasn't limited to its signature sport, as we learn in this look back at the 2012 conference basketball season. Big Ten fans were truly introduced to Nebrasketball on January 18th, just 3 weeks into conference play, when 11th-ranked Indiana visited the Huskers. Despite sporting a roster that included future NBA lottery picks Victor Oladipo and Cody Zeller, the Hoosiers found themselves in trouble late.
Indiana does have a timeout. Holds in the front court. Crosses over to the cup. No good. Loose. Holmes gets it. Throws it. And that's it. Nebraska knocks off the number 13 team in the land.
When they came into the league, I thought that the biggest jump and the biggest opportunity for Nebraska would be with their basketball program, as they kind of had to ratchet things up a notch, and they certainly did that, and a couple of those early wins helped their cause.
Perhaps no Big Ten coach has been more supportive of the Big Ten network over our 10 years than Michigan State's Tom Izzo. In January of 2012, we were there to see him capture his 400th win as the Spartans head man. In February, Northwestern senior John Scherna closed in on the school's all-time career scoring record. The Big Ten's leading scorer in 2012 passed Evan Eschmeyer for the number 2 spot on the Northwestern scoring list before arriving at Billy McKinney's doorstep when the Minnesota Golden Gophers visited Evanston.
John Scherna, next bucket will make him Northwestern's all-time leading scorer. He's got the ball up high. Wants it for 3! John Scherna has just become the wildest of cats.
11 days later, the Cats found themselves on the brink of another memorable moment with number 10 Ohio State on the ropes in Welsh Ryan Arena. Seeking their first NCAA tournament appearance in school history, Northwestern pulled even at 73 on Alex Marcatulio's 3 with just 7 seconds remaining. That's when Buckeyes freshman Jared Sullinger delivered.
Here comes Kraft inside. Sullinger, turnaround jumper up and in with 3.1 to go. Scherna, do or die! Oh!
As for the Big Ten's regular season crown, the race boiled down to 3 teams in contention on the final Sunday. Trey Burke and his Michigan teammates completed their 13-5 finish by pulling away from Penn State early in the day. That meant it came down to Michigan State and Ohio State, where a Buckeye win would mean a 3-way tie in the conference. And when William Buford hit this shot, it all came to pass. He talked about it with Sue Ann Roback.
Talk about that last possession for you guys.
Coach drew up a play, for me to come off a screen, just go one-on-one if I had a shot, and throw it in to Sully. If I didn't, I came off scene, I had a great look, and, was fortunate to knock down the shot.
In the Big Ten tournament, the Spartans would get their revenge as they topped the Buckeyes 68-64 for the conference title. Tourney Most Outstanding player Draymond Green basked in the win with Rick Pizzo.
Draymond, you made no secret coming into this event. It was one item you needed to check off that to-do list while your career at Michigan State was still ongoing. How does it feel now that you get to put that check next to winning Big Ten tournament?
Oh, man, it feels great. This is something that Michigan State haven't done since the 99-2000 season. And, it's just one of those things we always talk about, leaving that footprint in the sand, and it's just another one of those things where you keep on leaving your footprint.
Draymond Green is special. Did anybody see it coming? And if you say you did, you're lying. I mean, in regards to where he's at now.
I'd be lying if I sat here and told you at that moment I knew Draymond Green was going to go on to become one of the best players in the NBA. But I do think that tournament solidified his status among the Michigan State greats. Him being Player of the Year and MVP in the tournament, the way he did it, the way he handled himself, his relationship with Tom Izzo, to me that all became solidified. He joined names like Magic Johnson, like Mateen Cleaves in that Michigan State history book.
To me, this was the year that Indiana officially was back to being Indiana. Remember, in the 3 previous years, they had 8 conference wins combined. They had 8 wins this year by the middle of February, and this was the year they beat number 1 Kentucky and number 2 Ohio State. That's something a Big Ten team hadn't done in the same year in half a century.
Really compelling year. I mean, 5 legitimate top 25 teams. I want to praise a couple of individual players who I think maybe get a little bit overlooked, although we saw John Chernow break Northwestern's all-time scoring record. He was a great college player, and I think sometimes we think so much about the guys who translate to the pros, and he's had a really nice career in Europe. But, goofy-looking shot. He didn't necessarily look the part, but a fabulous athlete, and, man, he was a good player. And I'd say the same thing about Aaron Kraft, although there's some people who thought maybe he got too much hype at the college level. But, man, a fabulous defender, an incredible competitor and student athlete. Again, a guy who has made some money from the game. He peaked in college, no doubt, but there's still something to be said and some value for guys who are tremendous at this level, and those were 2 of those guys.